Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow citizens, my name is Frederick Douglass. I appear this evening as a thief and a robber. How can I say that? Because I stole this head, these limbs, my body from my master, and ran off with them. Because I was born enslaved. My early years were steeped in the bitter waters of oppression, my spirit caged by the iron chains of bondage. Yet within me burned an unquenchable flame of hope and desire for freedom. From my journey, you can glimpse the transformative power of freedom and the unyielding strength of the human spirit that have guided me from the clutches of slavery to the forefront of the fight for liberty. This pursuit of freedom was not merely a personal struggle. It was and remains a universal fight. For in the grand tapestry of humanity, each thread is interwoven, each fate entangled. My trek from the shackles of slavery to the heights of advocacy for liberty and equality mirrors the indomitable quest for human dignity that beats in every heart. For the liberation of one soul inevitably leads to the emancipation of another. Without a struggle, there can be no progress. My long-crushed spirit rose, cowardice departed, bold defiance took its place. This defiance was born in the darkness of enslavement, where, unlawfully, I taught myself to read. Knowledge lit the path to my freedom, sparking an eternal flame of hope in me, and a fervent wish to dispel ignorance and prejudice. As I broke the emotional chains of slavery, I embarked on a lifelong crusade to shatter the fetters of ignorance and prejudice. My voice, once silenced by the tyranny of oppression and anger, found its power in the cause of justice. I speak not just for myself, but for all who were denied the basic rights of mankind. For the liberty of an individual is inextricably linked to the liberty of every soul. I would unite with anybody to do right, and with nobody to do wrong. Elevating my once suppressed voice to a clarion call for justice, I stood not only for myself, but for all stripped of their fundamental human rights. I shared that call for justice with Harriet Tubman, who also took her own freedom and led others to their freedom as well. My advocacy extended beyond my writings and speeches, leading me to the historic halls of the Seneca Falls Convention in 1848, where I stood as the sole African-American man in support of women's suffrage, declaring, "Right is of no sex, truth is of no color. I have learned that love, in its purest form, transcends all man-made boundaries of race, color, and creed. It sees not with the eyes of prejudice, but with the heart of understanding. My own life is a testament to this truth. In an era filled with division and strife, I found love in the most unexpected of places. My second marriage to a woman whose skin was the antithesis of mine was not just an act of personal affection, but a bold statement to the world. Let us strive together to build a world where love bridges the divides, where freedom is the birthright of all, and where the color of one's skin is no more significant than the color of their eyes. Let this be our legacy, that we fought not just for our own liberation, but for the liberation of all mankind. Let us remember always that freedom for one means freedom for all. It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Let us continue to build, inspired by the lessons of the past, towards a future of greater freedom and equality for all. I meet you here on Cedar Hill, being the first to integrate Anacostia in 1877. I invite you to visit my home and look to the west, across the Anacostia Valley of opportunity toward our great institutions, the U.S. Capitol, the White House, and the Supreme Court, displaying those words graven in stone. Equal justice under law,